Ow, come, ow, ow, ow. Ow, oh, what the, ow. I give myself a cramp. Ow. Hey, Sadie, hi. Hello. Morning. I hope you guys have coffee. I have coffee. I have tea too. All of it. All of it. It's Josephine. Hi. Hello. Hello, hello. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna be making a lot of old people noises. There's allergies, it's early, and you get some sort of rain ASMR today because it is raining outside. You have coffee, awesome! I started making like Vietnamese coffee with the Fin filter. It's a bit like it's close to an espresso as far as coffee goes. So it is punchy. Mulberry and cinnamon. Oh, that sounds lovely. Allergies are so bad. Unbelievably so. I feel like instead of having a period where I have like a strong allergic reaction, now it's like the whole freaking summer so far. And it depends on the day, but it is worse when it rains, so I don't know what's up with that, but you guys can hear me fine, right? Who are these refined falconeers? Well, I have these two that I need to paint, so I thought I would prop them up and we could decide which one I'm painting. I did one this week during the members live stream. And me, hi! Hi, Keep! Hi to subject. Hi, everyone. I wasn't sure if anybody was gonna be able to show up because it is a bit earlier than usual. But it was either that or no stream. And I didn't feel like no stream, so this is the one I painted this week. It might be a bit hard to see on camera, but there's I used a special paint for the background element. So this is kind of what I want to do with the background elements here, but the cats are probably going to be pretty simple. I mean, this kind of simple. Viet coffee is so nice. It is. I'm finding out about it just through just through making it. Because I mean, what makes a coffee good or bad is mostly the coffee itself. So if you have a good if you have good coffee beans, it's pretty difficult to make something terrible out of them. Yeah, the shiny paints are fun. They're just a bit hard to use, so I'm glad I'm experimenting with this. Alright, so I'm gonna flip these. I'm gonna mix them up. And hopefully when I put them back down, we won't be able to see through them. And you guys tell me one or two. So this one or this one. No idea which one is which. Coffee. Mine has a bit of almond milk and maple syrup in there. Because of course it has maple syrup. And I love my mug. It is a local company that sells candles, but their model is to sell the candle in reusable containers. So I have one that's in kind of a glass, like a ceramic glass, or a earthenware glass more likely. And I also have this candle came with this little cup that I think is the perfect size for like Vietnamese coffee. 2, so this one. All right. Hey, Colorsmith. Hello. So we are painting this guy. I'm just gonna down this and bring out the what's the word for it in English? Like when someone comes up to relieve. We say la relève in French, but I can't figure it out. Hey, Paulo! Wow, lots of people. I was worried. I was like, oh my god, no one's gonna be there. And I hate the YouTube UI people. Why so? What happened? Alright, let's bring out this beefy guy. So the coffee was small and the tea is huge. Oh, yes. Alright, let's go. I need to get some paints. What paints am I using today, guys? I need brushes. Mostly these two. Brush wrist of some sort. Gonna brew me a nice cup. Hey, I think it's your fault that I decided to try the Vietnamese coffee Colorsmith, and I love it. Now I got some ad on the top of the chat window. What? Oh, ew. Mornings are better for me. That's why I can join today. Oh, that's awesome. Maybe I should have a morning one every once in a while. So I either can't see the whole video window or the bottom of the chat. And you can't close it. That's really annoying. Prepare my coffee in a minute. Yeah, coffee. Okay, paints. What paints am I making today? So I have Holbein, I have Rosa Gallery, I have Roman Schmal, Schminke, Winsor Newton. Well, that's about it, at least. Did you hear me yell out the, the brands? I had to reload it. Ugh. Did that get rid of the ad? So I said I had Holbein, Rosa Gallery, Winsor Newton, Roman Schmal. I have Core somewhere in there. I'm sure there was a fifth. Schminke. Did I say Schminke? Woohoo! This is gonna be fun. Like not only is it somewhat early, but the last 3 nights actually were really awful. I just couldn't fall asleep until like 2 a.m. and then woke up at like 6. Ooh, Beam watercolors. Oh, I have that too. But my palette of Beam is a bit more limited, so it can be a bit more difficult to... I'm painting in a mini watercolor book I made using Beam watercolors. Ah, lovely. would go with rosa. Rosa, I would have to select some pans because all my rosa pans are just in boxes. I don't have a setup palette of rosa. Do I want to set up a palette or do I want to just grab a palette that's already done, already made? Okay. New plan. I'm gonna grab a few and I'm gonna prop them here and you tell me which one. How about that? Okay. Pour faire changement. This one. Okay. Oh my god, this one is so big. Alright. So, some are pretty obvious what it is. I'm gonna try to keep the other ones kind of... Oh. Jeez, I wonder which one that is. Hold on, I hadn't seen that. Yeah, YouTube UI is getting worse by the minute, especially on mobile. Oh yeah, on mobile it is nasty. I hardly ever watch anything on my phone. YouTube on phone is impossible. Instagram is also pretty gross because of all the ads. So many pain, so little time. I know. But yeah, at least on computer you can have helpful extensions. Was not Milana, maybe. Maybe. So blue one. Let's go. Now I have to put these away. That will do. Let's go. All right, let's get rolling. Just waiting to see until stream catches up to make sure that I'm in frame. Tea is amazing. Actually, this is gonna go here. Paper towel. Always need a paper towel. Ready to go. And I have a few that I only have one left, but I like to keep little pieces of it just in case I need to dab something really quickly. Also need to figure out what color cat, but I'm thinking maybe like a blue-gray cat. I feel like this misty morning, if I can mute it down a bit, I think it would be a really interesting color for a cat. Would sort of go towards this kind of like Russian blue kind of color. Alright, let's go. How is everyone today? How's your weekend? Whoops. Yeah, okay, that's better. Oh, what's up? What's up? Whew. I also need. I don't know why I keep forgetting that I need a swatching paper of some sort. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna perhaps wait a few minutes still, but I have a bit of a story time to tell today if you guys are feeling up to it. I'm great, thank you. It's going good now that I'm here. Hey, happy Caturday! Yeah, my story time is very Caturday, well, not Caturday, but cat related, so kind of works well for Caturday. And you're gonna say, Ev, what do you do that's not cat related? And I will say, I don't know. Can you believe that I still get sometimes people that are like, I don't know what to give you when it's like my birthday or something. And I'm like, I feel like I'm really obvious that I like cats and that I like paints. So, I mean, stuff with a cat on it or a gift card to an art supply store. You know, these will be appreciated. They won't go to waste for sure. So I always find it a bit funny. I'm good cleaning and decluttering. Oh yeah, I've been working on that too. Like I've been doing a bit of progress. It's slow, but it's progressing, and it's kind of making me realize just the size of the stuff that I have to sort out. It's a lot of stuff. I'm okay. I'm tired, but I'm good. I'm tired because of lack of sleep, not because I mean it's early, but trying to think what color I want to paint the outfit. Cats and art supplies, the best things in life, seriously. And third place goes to food, I guess. Great, I have a bunch of chores to do. Oh no. Okay, I think I know what I'm gonna try to go for. Man, the Roman schmal paints, they re-wet so easily. I'm trying to move my paints closer to the AC because I worry they will go bad this summer. Oh no. I'm staining and... What? You're staining? What does that mean? Alright, are we ready for... Are we ready for some story time? Man, I've been editing a lot of me rambling lately, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I mumble so much. I'm so sorry. I kind of hate it, but it's not something that I do consciously. What I have to do consciously is try not to mumble, but it's difficult. So I'm gonna try to enunciate a bit better. Or at least remember to try to enunciate. You know. Cluttering can be fun, and then you get to declutter. Too warm, yeah. It has cooled down a bit here, which I'm infinitely grateful for, because, ooh boy. That's part of my story time, so let's roll into it. This week, so it was announced that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was gonna be really warm here. And it was gonna cool down on like on Wednesday night, I think. I think that's how it went. And on top of that, this week, Tuesday was a holiday because it's this province, this Canadian province's national holiday. It's the Saint Jean-Baptiste, which is a day off for us. So, Monday, I work. Mr. E works at home as well, so we're both here. And it's super hot, so we're like, oh, it is really hot, but we need to at least do a bit of a walk outside, you know, just a little something to at least, you know, move, air the brain out, stuff like that. So we decide to go walk at a place that we don't often go walk to, but that is really nice. It's a little alley not too far from here, and it is quite overgrown and quite nice. So there's some shade, there's some trees. It's a bit more quiet than the usual streets or sidewalks. So we go walk, doop 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 doop, and we're walking. And at some point, Mr. E notices a cat tail, not the plant, like the tail of a cat that's poking out of under a fence. So to try to explain the physicality of it, so there's a big wooden fence. There's a gap at the bottom of the fence. Then you have a little gap between the fence and a shed. And then you have, like, the rest of it is someone's yard. It's a yard that I'm somewhat familiar with because I've talked to the humans that live there a few times. But yeah, so there's a cat tail hanging out from under the fence. Like, the cat would be between the fence and the shed. But there's a good, like, 6 inches gap at the bottom of the fence. So, me being me, all I had brought along for our walk was kibble and keys. So I'm like, oh, kitty, 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 do you want some kibble? And the cat, no reaction. And we look at the cat and, like, still no reaction. I'm like, So I gently poke its tail and the cat sort of reacts. I'm like, okay, cat is good, cat is good. So I leave some kibble. Cat doesn't show a lot of interest into it, but we keep on with our walk. And then when we come back around, the cat is still there, hasn't touched the kibble, but we're like, okay, that happens. Fine. Fast forward. We're now Tuesday, next day. So we take out, I don't remember why we decided to go check on the cat. But turns out the cat was still in exactly the same spot. Had not moved, had not eaten. And that was a bit worrying. So immediately I got, like, concerned right away. And I was like, oh, okay, this something's going on. So I tried to get a better view of the cat by, like, putting my phone under the fence to try and get a picture of the cat. And I go back home, I talk with a friend, and kind of suggest that I bring out some churros. You know, like the paste in tubes that most cats really love. And it's very palatable, and it's there's a good water content on that. And it's still super hot outside. We're talking about 35 Celsius. So it is sweltering hot. And this cat outside is in the shade, but it doesn't look to be doing all that well. So I go back, I bring water, I bring my churro. I set the cat up. Cat eats a bit of churro, and I'm like, okay, cool. That's good. I'm going to come back and check on the cat later. So I go back home, work, head back out later, and I see that the cat is still there. I'm like, oh, okay, so this cat, something is up. And the cat ate a little bit of churu, but not that much. And when it did, he was really wobbly. So I'm like, oh shoot. Here it's 38C and I'm loving it. Oh my gosh, you're a lizard, Paulo. I'm not. I'm a polar bear. But yeah, so kind of worried about the cat and all of that. So next day, Wednesday, it's not a holiday. It's a day where I'm it's just me here. So first thing I do, I go check on the cat. The cat is still there. And I'm like, okay, no, this won't do. So I come back and I'm trying to figure out what to do. I called the SPCA, which is our local, I keep forgetting to look what SPCA means, but I think you guys are at least a bit familiar with the concept. It's a non-profit that helps all animals. It's cats, dogs, all pets basically, but they also help with like guinea pigs, bunnies, like all sorts of things. I'm like a polar bear too. High five. So yeah, so I called them and I'm like, oh, well, first of all, their system is that you call and they're so busy. Bless them, but they're so busy that you have to leave a message. But they call back, quickly enough. And I talked to the person on the phone and I'm like, oh, this is the situation. I'm not sure what to do. I don't really have any resources locally. I don't know anyone that does like cat trapping or that can sort of help me. And the person on the phone says, well, we can bring someone, like we can send our patroller to your location to get the cat, but only if you've managed to like contain the cat. Like you need to do the job of trapping and we can come pick it up because we only have one patroller for the whole island. Like they're like I said, they're not a for-profit organization, so they have to do the best they can do. So I'm like, okay. So person on the phone says, look up this Facebook group that is for your city. It's sort of an aggregate of people that might possibly help you, like catch the cat. And when you have the cat, call us and we will send the patroller to get the cat. And I'm like, okay, shoot. So I try to figure it out. The thing that's difficult is that I can't really have easy access to the cat. I know that I can't get in through the yard because I know that at that moment there was no one like to let me in the yard, and it is locked. It is fenced out. So I'm like, what can I do? So, and then I was also talking to my friend at the same time, and my friend was kind of stressing me out about it just a little bit because she was super worried as well, but she's not near me, so I was just like stressing out about this. And at some point I reached my limit and I was like, okay, let's figure this out. So I head back out, sweltering heat again, and it's like still 35 Celsius, like still way too hot for me. And I go out, I grab a broom, I grab our big cat carrier, I grab my bag with all the stuff I had for the cat, like a can of food, kibble, water. I even brought like a plastic bag, worst case scenario. I had gloves, I had a bunch of stuff, and I head out, all my stuff. I'm like, okay, let's figure this out. So I tried to set up a way to corral the cat, and then with my broom, because I don't know how feral this cat is or not. I know he's not feeling well, so he's kind of mellow, but like he hasn't swiped at me, but he could swipe at me. So I don't know. So I set it up. I have the carrier. It's a big carrier. It's roomy. It's not scary. It's not a small carrier. So I grabbed the broom and I tried to gently like corral the cat to get into the carrier, but the cat doesn't want to. Eventually the cat moves enough that he's still like under the fence between the shed and the fence, but most of his bum is poking out. And I'm like, okay, so this cat is really not feeling well. He hasn't moved. He's not super reactive. He's probably very dehydrated. So put on the gloves and I'm like, okay, make it or break it. And I grab the cat's butt gently and I gently pull him from under the fence. And then I grab him a bit better and I lift him and I put him in the carrier. I had put the carrier upright, like a bit, if it was my mug, this would be the opening of the carrier. So you can, oh, sorry about that. So you can sort of drop down the cat in the carrier. And when a cat is not too feisty, it works really well because they can't easily dash out. So you have a bit of time to close it up and all that. So I managed that. All things considered, it went really well. So I head back home with all my gear. I'm sweating buckets. It's gross. But it's a success. So I walk back home, call the SPCA again, leave a message. I set the cat in my bathroom because I don't have a lot of space. Like, this is not a huge apartment and we don't have a lot of rooms. And I already have 2 cats. So options are limited. So yeah, I set him in the bathroom. I give him fresh food, fresh water. I give him a bit of catnip, like fresh catnip, because he's not eating much. So I'm like, if catnip works a bit like weed, perhaps it's gonna make him a bit more hungry so that at least he eats a bit. And I wait. And then the SPCA calls again. And which that I thought that was really cute, but the person I talked to on the phone was the same person both times. And first time I explained the situation and all that, and when I called back to say, oh, I have the cat, she remembered who I was. And she was like, oh, the cat that was like in between the shed and the fence. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, yes. And I was like, oh my gosh, these people, they're amazing. I love them so much. So yeah, I said, yeah. I managed to grab him. And he's in my bathroom. He's chilling right now. Like, he's in a safe, quiet space. So, and she says, okay, I'm going to send the patroller to your place. I don't know when they'll get there because they have like a lot of work to do, but they will show up. They will, intake the cat and bring him back to the building. And I'm like, okay, cool. So start waiting. I check up regularly on the cat because, like, I still worry like about the general health, and since we don't really know what's wrong, like, it's hard to pinpoint how bad of a shape the cat is in, if that makes sense. But yeah, eventually, like, the cat still like perseveres, and eventually the patroller comes by, and it's this really really nice young lady. I'm old now, I can say that. And yeah, she comes in, check the cat, and we managed to transfer the cat from my carrier to hers. The cat is not feisty, but it's still a bit like resisting. And she like, I signed paperwork and all of that, and she brings the cat. And I don't have any updates. I will call next week. Apparently I can call, and if I give them my phone number, they can sort of give me a bit of an update on the pet. So I will call, but they're really quite busy, so I want to give them a bit of time to perhaps like figure out what was wrong with the cat, give the cat a chance to get better, and then I will call and like just ask for an update, but no rush, Also, I didn't want to call right away because I was like, this was a pretty rock and roll kind of week in terms of emotions, and I'm not sure I want to deal with possible bad news, So I was like, okay, just let's take a breather and hope for the best and give the poor kitty a bit of time, and then we'll see. So that was my story time for this week. Yeah, that was a lot. It was a lot because I'm not used to this. So it was a lot of new things that I had to process, adjust, and try to figure out what was the best course of action. In the end, I think what I ended up doing is the best course of action. Because the kitty, I don't think it would have gotten better on its own. But yeah. I'm the kind of person, like, if I hear about sad cat news, I will start crying. It's not proportional. Like, my reaction to cat-related stuff is really disproportionate. So, yeah, that was a lot to process on Wednesday and the rest of the week, like worrying about the cat. Like, am I gonna show up at its spot and it's gonna be worse off? And but yeah, so that's that. The last time I had rescued a cat was like 6 years ago, and it was Linus, that most of you have probably seen. But Linus was a whole lot easier to rescue because he wanted to be rescued. So that was much easier. And in the end, my a close friend adopted him, so I still have news and photos of Linus. So that was good, but that was 6 years ago. So I guess I was overdue for helping another orange cat. I also hope the kitty's feeling better now. I'm like it's a really well-known shelter. It's been doing its job for a really long time, so they know what they're doing, and I'm really hoping like they were able to do a checkup on the kitty quickly and at least get the kitty some sort of subcutaneous fluids because obviously he was dehydrated, like minimum 48 hours outside in 30 plus Celsius weather with no drinking. He had a tiny bit of water through the food I gave him because I tried to make sure it was stuff that had a good percentage of water in there, but that's all. That's not a lot, you know? I mean, he was not really moving, but that's still not a lot. So I hope they were able to, get him rehydrated and then maybe give him some medication to stimulate his hunger and get him back on track. But yeah. Whew. I will update with news eventually, hopefully good news. So that was the big thing this week. And I'm still decluttering. I'm still going to the post office all the time. I'm still trying to get videos done. So it was a bit hectic to say the least. So how about you guys? How were your weeks? How did that go? Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully it was not too late, Oh my gosh, Otto! Hey! You made it! Of course, the nature of things makes it so you come in just after I'm done about telling the whole cat kerfuffle of this week, but you had, like, I told you most of it. Dandy Cat is dandy. Dandy Cat kind of looks like he just successfully pulled some prank. Our week is good now that we adopted our cat. And you have a kitty! 2 months ago, so it's a baby. Or did you adopt a full adult cat? Because that's also awesome. I'm trying to wake up. Finally, we can. Oh my gosh, tell me about it. The cat is super fabulous. We adopted and she is too, so still toddler. Yeah, teenager. Kind of the worst age stage regardless of living thing. I hope the kitty gets the treatment in. Me too. Me too. It's a good shelter because it's a no-kill shelter at least. But yeah. If it was closer to my place, because it's kind of far from me here, but if it was closer, I think I would look into volunteering. at the shelter. Like, you know, do the stuff like manage the washing machine to wash all the blankets and clean up cages and that kind of stuff. Perhaps not necessarily deal with cats, because that would be so hard emotionally. But like, they need people to get stuff cleaned up, or probably portion out food, and you know, just the management of things. Now, if you'd want to bring, yeah, that's why I say no contact with the kitties. just just the background running of stuff, like getting farms ready and handling I don't know, all the stuff that doesn't revolve around adopting, like working with the kitties. The cat color is just a layer of Misty Morning for now. I would volunteer if I lived closer to house too, but it's so far. Yeah, same. It is so far, and like there's two issues with that. I don't have a car, I don't drive, so that's one thing, and also commuting would take a really long time. But even if I had a car, this is a really densely populated city, so it's not that easy to drive from one part of the island to a far other part of the island. There's a lot of roadworks in the summer. There's a lot of issues everywhere. There's a lot of traffic, and it's just like it's a lot. And commuting would take like 2 hours, which is a bit extreme, you know. Yes, I believe you. I totally believe that a person who has rescued several cats can stay away from the cats if they work at a shelter. Hey, I would try and fail, but try. Because I want to help them out, but yeah, we kind of we did a donation. Even I wouldn't be able to stay away from the cats if I was even in the same building with cats. I mean, yeah. I know. My only hope would be that my subconsciously I would recognize that this would be so emotionally taxing that as a survival mechanism my brain would like force me to stay away from the cats on its own. It's a bit like how I'm able to not eat dairy. Like, it hurts so bad that I can manage to not eat dairy. So I'm hoping that something similar would happen, but who knows. Funnily enough, the rescue center, like the SPCA, is the same place we adopted my childhood cat from in 1988. So my grandparents lived close enough to the city. My mom lived in this city when she was a kid and a teen and a young adult, and eventually moved to a different city, which is where we lived as a family. And we were visiting the grandparents. And as we were visiting the grandparents, we also went to the same SPCA shelter, and that's where I adopted my childhood cat. Yeah, same donation is the greatest thing. Don't underestimate how helpful it is. Oh, how helpful it is. Yeah, I know. They always need like their donation page is in a way well done, because you can input any amount you want, but they also have like preset amounts, and they have next to the preset amounts they have like an example of what this amount will pay for. So it's stuff like a week of food, a surgery, that kind of stuff, you know. So you really feel like the money is gonna help with something, because sometimes you just don't know. And I not that I mind, I don't have any issue with that, but like cat rescues is something that I hold very dear, so I like to know how they work, because it gives me a better grasp of how problematic the situation is, basically. If you get emotionally involved with cats online, oh no, I do. Yeah, I know you do too, but it's like this duality though, because you want to help, right? So how can one help? Our local cat protection league has an amazing. Yeah, I don't think this specific shelter has. I think smaller shelters have uh, wish lists, but they also always have donation options. And I think that's the same everywhere. But if you do a donation to a nonprofit, you get a tax deduction or something. I mean, it's a nice incentive. It's not why I do it, especially with cat shelters. A bit biased, but it's kind of the nice cherry on top of the sundae, basically. Cats are love after all. I'll be getting one more cat after returning home, and maybe a doggy too. Niece wants a puppy. Absolutely want. That's the thing, though. Want to help, but all while knowing that I have zero emotional fortitude to deal with this situation. It's not easy. Not easy. Sorry, I'm mumbling a lot again. I was impressed by the how helpful the SPCA were. I didn't have any expectations, truly. Uh, I've never really dealt with shelters in, for a quote unquote crisis situation. And they were really nice. And the person on the phone was, helpful. And the patroller that came by was really nice. Like, she did something that I've seen so few people do when they do like sort of door to door, that kind of stuff. But she came in and she asked if I would prefer that she take off her shoes. And I was a bit stunned for a second. I was like, yeah, yeah, sure, if you don't mind. Not a lot of people, ask about that. They often just barge in with their shoes on. Unless it's winter. If it's winter and everything is slush outside, they will probably have like cover-ups that they will take off. And just for that, I was like, thanks. Cool. What? And she was super nice, and you could tell right away that she cared about the cat, and the person on the phone too. And I was like, oh my gosh, these people, bless them. Bless them. Good people. With this situation in my country, a lot of cats and dogs are in the shelters now. Yeah. I'm trying to donate from here, at least some help. Yeah, totally. It's difficult. There's a lot of places in the world right now where, I mean, human crisis is big, but it's really hard to think just of the human crisis and not consider all the other living creatures that are affected by it. With recent events, like I try to keep up with the news somewhat. Like a lot of my background noise while I work is people streaming politics and whatnot, just to keep a feel for what's going on. And at some point, with what happened with Iran and the other country. And there was some footage of like rescue workers working in a the debris, is that a word in English? Like a building that had been destroyed partially, and there was a tiny bit of footage of a rescue worker coming out of the, building with an orange cat. And I was like, oh my gosh, bless this person. Maybe they're a terrible human in other aspects of their lives, but they're a rescue worker and they rescued the cat, so that's at least 2 points for them. Like, it's the thing, you don't really want to push to have more info about necessarily, because it kind of comes across as a bit oh man, I don't have the words for this. But it's like, instead of worrying about the human situation, like asking about the pet situation, it can come across as a bit insensitive. But it's still something that, you think about. You're like, yeah, but the pets are there, so what happens? The cat was fine, by the way. The rescue worker with the orange cat, the cat appeared to be in excellent shape. So I was like, whew, a tiny bit of relief. But yeah, it is not great overall. But yeah, let's not necessarily dwell on politics. A lot of cats and dogs have been left behind with people feeling that too. And that's what I don't get. We never even thought about leaving our cat. Not everyone can do that though. I'm pretty sure that a lot of them wanted to do that, but they might have been like just too panicked or not ready. Oh my god, it's perfect napping afternoon weather. Help. Have some watermelon? Have a drink? I don't know what would help. Don't lay down. Whatever you do, don't lay down, Otto. Now we should care about all the environment suffered. Oh yeah. When you see before and after photos, it's pretty striking just how like all the vegetation is gone too. It's gonna grow back, but it's just... So I don't know how weird this will come across, but like you look at before and after, like aerial photos or satellite photos, and like all the colors are gone. After, it's oftentimes like all beige and gray and dark gray. All the colors are gone. It I understand why, but it's just weird. It just turned here randomly like a hurricane almost. That's a summer storm. I love them. I can't tell you how perfect a napping weather it is in the UK right now. Well, I mean, what's napping weather? I feel like that good napping weather is when you can't go outside, so it's a bit chilly, it's raining. I just woke up like an hour ago and jumped straight to... Well, hi. Oh man, I don't like napping because I always feel worse after a nap. That's the thing though. Like at the moment where the idea of taking a nap comes across my mind, it always feels like a good idea, because it's usually because one is exhausted, and you're like, oh, I could really go with a nap. Okay, let's give that a try. And then you take the nap, and when you wake up, you kind of feel worse. And it's like, oh, yeah. And that's the part I hate. I really hate that. So I try not to nap, but I will sometime like set a timer for like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, and keep my earbuds in, listen to something, but just like close my eyes and lay down my head just for a while. And usually that's kind of enough to recharge a bit. But yeah, full nap, ugh. It doesn't feel good. That's the thing though. It's not too hot, not too cold, sunny, but not like a painful sunbeam. But if that's weather to be outside, truly. That sounds perfect weather for just chilling outside and like walking around or sitting in a cafe or something. PM perfect time too. Wah! Pff, nah. Hey, Valerie! The Finger Lakes of Central New York. Ooh, lovely. Caturday, hi. Bonjour. Bonjour de Montréal. Bonjour de Montréal aussi. I'm waiting to watch the last launch of the Japanese H2A rocket in 2 hours. You seem to be pretty, really like this is not the first time you mentioned that you wait to watch space-related stuff. Are you guys particularly space enthusiasts? Must not sleep. I've been outside already. I had to come home as us. Oh. I get to go outside later, so hope it stays nice now. It's not nice here, it's rainy, so... It's 9 a.m. where I am, so I'm planning painting sessions with more playing. Yes, yes, yes. What kind of Arctic Journal? Do you know what kind of like rendering you want to achieve when you paint clouds? Because I was thinking of a few tutorials that I know of, but tutorials are a bit useless if they don't go like in the direction of the look you want to create. Like, oh my god, I love space stuff. Oh yeah, I used to be a proper space nerd when I was growing up. I wanted to work for NASA. I started off studying. Ooh, okay, that's really cool. I should paint a cat astronaut. From experience, I can tell you that they're a lot of fun. I really like doing cat astronauts because I can just improvise some kitschy looking space outfit that makes no sense. And everything is like kind of Michelin Man, you know, like bubbly. Like it's just fun to draw. Which is why I know what test that lady did for dinosaurs. Oh. I'm not particularly a space nerd. I feel like the sky is really amazing to look at, but it's a bit like deep sea diving. It's interesting content, but no personal appeal to ever, get there. What is the best thing you ate this week? Oh, ooh. I want to learn how to make those dramatic ones using a brush. I'll look into the tutorials I can think of, and if you have like a visual example of the kind of rendering you want to achieve, handy, you can send it to me on Discord and I'll see. I'll try to see if I have anything helpful. More into how the heck do we tell things about planets and stuff that we haven't even gone to. I mean, there's a lot of stuff about space that I think is particularly fascinating, like sending rovers to distant planet, and the space telescopes are like awesome. The photos they take of things that are so far away. Yeah, I never wanted to be an astronaut. I wanted to be... Okay, good. Okay, we're on the same level here. I made a Boston cream cake that was the best. Oh, dude. Kimchi pancakes. Oh, I don't think I ate anything particularly mind-blowing this week. The best thing was apple pie my aunt makes. We call it shallot. A lot of apples and decorated with powdered sugar. Ooh, sounds lovely. Space is spooky. It's quiet. It is, but it's so beautiful though. And it's fascinating, and for no reason other than vibes, I kind of feel like it's less suffocating than stuff like deep sea diving. Makes no sense, but... Did I say hi, Keep? Hi, Keep. Yes, Doctor, stuff you probably should check out. Anton Petrov. Cauliflower baked with avocado. Oh, interesting. Huh. Avocado paste. A bit like guacamole? Nah, man, space is full of cool sounds. I'm all for the vibes. Do you agree, though? Like, the vibes of space are so much better than the vibes of deep sea stuff. Deep sea stuff is really cool to look at. But if you told me I have to choose between going into space and going deep sea, I would feel just a smidge less stressed out in space, because I wouldn't feel it would feel a bit less claustrophobic. Both would kill me if I had it out, but I feel like in space you don't feel like squeezed as much. Makes no sense, but that's just my feeling for it. One of the books I remember, like when I was a kid, my grandpa, my dad's dad, his family comes from a really small Quebec village, and we would go visit, but there wouldn't be a lot to do, especially as a kid. So I would like look at the few books my grandpa had, and he had one of those books, one of the first books they released about finding the Titanic wreck at the bottom of the sea, and it was full of photos of the wreck itself, and it was my favorite book to look at. Still fascinated with the memory of this book. So seeing everything that's deep sea is really interesting, like how the minerals deposit the creatures that lives there, the plants, the whatnot, but I would never want to be there. Hey, Sketches and Scrubs, hello. Hi, hi, hi. This is the cool place to be right now. Yeah, you can hear me yapping about space vibes. I don't think I said hi to Amy. Oh my gosh, hi. Hi, everyone. It's the same with cave stuff. The sense that this is probably one of the last place I ever want to be, like spelunking. But photos that people take of like stalactites, stalagmites, rocks, crystals, all that stuff is super cool to look at. And I'm glad these people go there to take those photos so they can share. Would I ever want to go there? Nope. Same with Everest. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, hell no. Dude, are you kidding? Like, ethics aside, what's going on Everest? Are you out of your mind? No thanks, not for me. As in outer space, yeah. Space and deep sea are both super scary, but I'm also very... yeah, that's a good way to put it, I would say. Yeah, that's the ethic part that's problematic about Everest. It's a tourist trap. It's a lot of people with money but no experience. Oh, sorry, that and they kind of lose sight of how dangerous Everest can be. Like we've all seen those photos where it's basically just an endless line of people waiting to summit Everest. And I'm like, where's the fun in that? I feel like the awe-inspiring part of summiting Everest is not necessarily being able to say I was on the summit. It's the whole process of getting there. So with the way it is right now, the way it's like you say a tourist trap, like if someone was to come and say, "Oh, I summited Everest," and they show me pictures and it's just this endless line of people waiting to summit Everest, I'd be like, "Yeah, but like this is more sad than anything." Oh boy, I love to watch cave stuff, but I always end up thinking I rather go in space than underwater cave. Now you're combining two terrifying things together into a big, big fat no. Oh my gosh. Underwater, stuck in a cave. Like, nope. I'm not a thrill seeker. If it's a big cave that you can easily just walk horizontally into, I'm fine with it. Might not stay there long, but that's doable. Spelunking? No, nope. If I have to squeeze in tight places, I'm out. Just nope. Keeps Nepal. It is, but they don't do it well. Yeah, like you say, I wish people wouldn't litter all over it. Like they have so many. Again, it's kind of more focused on like the money part of things rather than the sustainable part of things. Like they have a litter problem. Like Everest is full of poop, if you'll pardon my French. Like all the tourists that want to summit Everest, they have to poop. And they poop in bags and they leave the poop bags on the slopes. And there's not really any easy way to collect trash of Everest. It's still a dangerous mountain. It's not because it is very touristy that it's less dangerous now. And there's also like a lot of unfortunate mountaineers that are stuck on the slopes of Everest because they can't really easily get there and take them out. Cave diving is terrifying. Like, why? Because one of those things burned down. My cat Emily is yelling for churro right now. Oh, what flavor of churro? When they say things like he had to take off his breathing tank to... No, 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 no. That's the universe telling you not to go through the other... Seriously! Same. I couldn't agree more, Otto. Hold on. The fudge is that? Okay, sorry about that. Oh, the stretch time. Oh man, that feels nice. My butt is sore. That's awful. People need to go up and up. It is just very difficult to do. And they leave all sorts of trash up there. Like oxygen tanks, poop bags, any kind of waste. There's like, you don't want to carry it with you to the top because it will slow you down. And you don't really pick it back up when you come back down. Yeah, they leave the unfortunate mountaineers on Everest. But like, there's so much tourism stuff on Everest that it means extra waste. And base camp on the Everest is just so weird. Like they have all sorts of fancy things like espresso machine and whatnot, and you're like, what? What's the point? Why are people going there? Seriously. When you hear about stuff like that, you think the human instinct for exploration is getting a bit stifled. We don't have to explore everything, you know? So no cave dive. Are you kidding me? Never. I get nervous when you see in movies people that go like, oh, I have to dive underwater and go through this rock tunnel to emerge on the other side. And I'm just like, I would be like, screw that, shoot me. I'm not doing that. It's a thing that I often have like recurring in nightmares is having to go through a kind of tunnel that I don't know how long the tunnel is. And I wonder where that comes from. Ah! Because people have huge egos. Aw. I want to drop that in dinners. Oh, I have been to the summit of the Everest. Yeah, but that's the thing though. Now it's like, oh, you and a bajillion other people. I don't have any tolerance for that either, Paolo. Even with Fuji. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the fun of climbing a mountain is not necessarily like just to check it off a bucket list. Like, I would love to do a hike on Mount Fuji. But yeah, not if it's problematic. I feel like if it's problematic, it takes away all the fun of doing it. I don't know what you guys think, but it's like, oh. I'm also not big on cruises. I thought about that because we've been getting ads for cruises on whatever streaming service we have at the moment. I don't remember. But, oh, ew, ew. Stuck on a boat for any length of time with a bunch of randos? And you can't escape? No. No, 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 no. Why would I do that? Why? Why? Why must we ruin things? We're really good at it, for sure. Oh, I hate cruises. Hate. Cruises are nasty. They really are. They're so gross. There's always some sort of story about like people catching like the Montezuma's Revenge on cruises, and then the whole cruise becomes a poopy cruise. And you're like, you know, I don't like that, and I also don't like the idea of being like on a big boat in a cabin. I don't know why it always feels extra claustrophobic too. It's not a place for introverts, let alone us extreming. Yeah, definitely nope. Come to the Carpathians. I'll show you around. There are not so many tourists doing climbing and a lot of places to stop and bait. Are they relatively flat? Well, humans, unfortunately, are the only living beings that can coexist with. We really do our best to mess it up, don't we? Actually, I don't think it's all that bad. It's just that I think that a lot, like if you did a Venn diagram of the humans who can't coexist with nature, and you had like one sphere was that, and the other, not sphere, circle, and the other circle was people who have power and not will get things done in a good way, but like can do stuff. Like not coexisting with nature, people who can do stuff, they're always the rich people. And there's a big overlap of these two things, because I'm pretty sure that most of us in here, we can sort of coexist with nature to at least some degree. But like none of us is a Jeff Bezos, whatever fudge his name is, and a Cheetos man, or like we're not the kind of person who can afford to hike on Everest, Not that you necessarily have to be rich to be an asshole. I went on a day trip to Saint-Omer a few days ago. Special for me, as I've not been on holiday for 8 years. Oh, and this was only a day trip across the English Channel. Just had stinky French burger. It was everything I needed. That's awesome. Oh my god, we had a bit of a chat about crossing the channel in the members only live stream. You take out the trash you bring in. I mean, you wish. I agree. I agree. But I've seen things. It sounds like you have a cat personality. I kind of do, don't I? Very much so. And not any kind of cat, the kind of mean cat that bad people. I'm a three-color cat. They're not the tallest in the world, but very scenic. Oh, that's perfect. I love that. It's a petri dish. Oh, it's it's gonna be bad. And people, I feel like it's a bit like resorts. I feel like people that end up on vacation over there, they kind of make an effort to be awful. Not all of them, but that's always the stories we hear about, like people getting drunk all the time, being really nasty to the workers. You know, it is sad. Hey, Dominic, hi. Sad how popular climbing tall mountains has become, but it's even more sad to think of all the littered bodies on the mountains. Yeah, but I mean, I'm sad for the fact that it's it's kind of litter, quote unquote, because I feel like if you decide to do something as dangerous as climbing Everest up to the summit and you don't make it, well, that's on you. I don't feel bad for that. You chose to do it. You knew that could happen. You wanted to do it. So I'm like, it's either a Darwin Award for you or just, hubris. Ah! I spilled tea everywhere. I'm really good at this, guys. Ah! Most rich people are... Yeah, you kind of have to be an a-hole to get to this level of rich, Because if you're a decent person, you're not going to hoard up all the money, right? No to cruises for me too. Every time I hear about a cruise, I remember the movie Poseidon. Talk about phobia. Every time I hear about a cruise, I'm reminded of the poop cruise. I don't have the details like in my head right now, but basically they had to quarantine a boat because people all had issues with their bowels, and it just became like the poop cruise. Rich people taking over cities for their... Yeah. Listen, if someone was extroverted enough to enjoy going on cruises, they would not be sitting at home chatting on a Saturday morning afternoon. All introverts are united separately. Absolutely. Sorry about that. My tea is finished. The amount of entitlement in said marriage must be... I gotta go, but I love it here. Do hope I can make it again. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by, Sadie. I hope you have a great weekend. Hey, take care as well. So what other places are absolutely awful out there? We had deep sea spelunking, deep sea spelunking. Space is not all that terrifying, to be honest. I feel like it is so inaccessible that it kind of makes it less scary. Cruises are scary. Mountains. I agree with you, Amy. Absolutely. I've seen a lot of comparisons made lately between some governmental expenses, like what it was used for and what it could have been used for, and it's always super depressing. And the divide is growing, yeah. The unrest. Anyway, people are not necessarily tolerating it as much now. What about that girl that fell into the side of an active volcano? Oh, that's terrifying too. Why? What? Why? What was she doing there? I like mountains. I like the ones that you can climb, like horizontally by walking. When it gets too vertical, that's my jam, you know. Desserts. Desert, yeah, desert. I don't find them as scary. They're definitely difficult when it comes to survival, and you're probably done for if you are lost in one, but I like viewing mountain. Same with volcanoes. Dude, active volcano, that's that nature's telling you, like, don't come here. It's active. Do you want to, you know, melt? The Australian outback seems pretty scary to me, just in terms of dryness, heat, no water. So, bugs, and all the things, all the creatures that can and may want to kill you there, too. I don't know how. In me, you might you might have some insight, but I'm always so fascinated by the fact that, like, everything. I feel like every creature or plant in Australia has a potential to kill you, or is like oversized for no reason. Even the stuff that's not like deadly per se, like the what are they called? Like the kind of crabs that can climb palm trees. You have those in Australia, but like they're not mean, but they're heavy. So if they fall on your head, they can kill you. Like that kind of stuff that you're like, what the? Raspberries with honey and aceto balsamico. Ooh. The Australian outback is beautiful. Oh, flies. Ew. Okay, yeah. Ugh. And then the things that want to kill you. Even a kangaroo can do some damage. Like, getting out of there in one piece. Do you still have watermelon, Otto? I've lived here, but so far the only massive insect I've encountered is a huntsman's. Ooh. Oh, that's a startling one. I hear the roaches are quite sizable too. You know that Will Jaden Smith movie, Earth, where they say everything on this planet has evolved to kill you? Dude, that's, that's true. Sorry. Fair, yeah. No, I ate the last of the water. Aw. I live pretty much in the city, so the kangaroos I encounter are those. Oh, eep. Took me a moment there. I was like, what? What? I get it. I feel like with Australia, the issue is that unless you're aware, most people will underestimate the animals there. Like, not that a kangaroo is particularly like willing to destroy you, but they're much stronger than people assume, I think. Oh, hey, Bio, hi, hello. There's that joke about Australia. Everything there wants to kill you. Not everything can, but wants never. Okay, that's good. You know, Ibis, the bird that the Egyptian worshipped as gods. Well, they are treated the same as trash pandas in Australia. It is, or recently was mango season. Oh, dude. Do you get like locally grown mangoes? Kangaroo meat is more ecological. Fair. I mean, if you get to the point of like having meat, it's kind of not really a big difference if the meat comes from a kangaroo or from a cow at that point. There was even a dude that got arrested for repeated grabbing ibisi and cooking them in it. The bin chicken? Is that the name you give it? Oh, that's so funny. It's like a pigeon. Oh, that's hilarious. I'm in the US, so no. But I was at a little mercado. Oh, dude. I have a, I'm snubbing the regular, like, red and green mangoes because they're never really all that good here and they're so stringy. But the smaller, yellow mangoes are, like, if you can get one that ripens properly, they're so good. No, it's an ibis that adapted. So it's basically like a pigeon. Or a seagull, yeah. I love bin chicken, that's amazing. Ibis have long beaks and necks. Yeah, they're a bit like a oh jeez, a crane in terms of visuals. Pigeons are rats of the sky. The mourning doves. I think the mourning doves are literally like pigeons of a different color. That's about it. Literal gods in one country, raccoons in another. Long legs. Yeah, like a crane, right? Curved beak, though not like, yeah, I mean, just the I need to like see both, but I feel like the image in my mind of an ibis is like the proportions are similar to a crane. So long neck, long legs, a beak, like a sizable beak. One bird that I find particularly weird to look as it does its thing, it's the pelican. Is that the name in English? The one that has like the big pouch in the beak. They're so weird. They're so weird. Like what happened there? Just found a great pic of an ibis and a pigeon. We have pelicans there too. Have you seen them? I'm not sure I have. It sounds terrifying. When I see pigeons get dive bombed by other birds, I think of those videos of parrots who want to eat chicken nuggets and think you... I mean, for me, just the notion of parrots being a native, quote-unquote, pest animal is so alien to me. There was a woman killed by cows. Well, I mean, a cow is heavy and bulky, so even if they're not like attacking you for some reason, just their clumsiness and their bulk can be... I mean, no hat because I haven't drawn it, but I might keep that idea for a future drawing. You say pigeons get dive bombed by other birds. We were at a friend's place once, and they live quite high up in the building, and they have a nice view of the sky. And we were just all looking outside at the sky. And we're like, "Oh, look, there's a bird of prey!" And just as we all look at the bird of prey dive bombs a pigeon, and flies off with the pigeon. And we were like, "Oh, okay, that's unexpected." I'm not sure I like that, actually. I might try to remove that. It's a bit not nice. Right. my god, pelicans will eat everything. Have you seen videos of them trying to eat capybaras? Poor cappies. They're guinea pigs. Oh my gosh. But I mean, the creature has got to, like, try to... I've seen videos of someone repeatedly digging out, like, a chicken out of a pelican's beak. This Bin Chicken website has fun facts. 40% of Australian white ibis eat at landfills. They're basically seagulls, really. This Bin Chicken website has fun facts. This is not a sentence I thought I was going to read today, but it's awesome. Is Paulo still here? Paulo, are you still there? We have giant crows, which I love because they are smart and sassy. I love ravens and crows. I've said this before, but I always try to say hello to them when I see them outside. Birds are brutal. I love doing sketches of the Australian birds. That's one thing, though. The creatures, the Australian creatures are really interesting to draw and paint, and the plants too, and the landscape. The colors of the outback are striking. Hey, to be friends with the crows, they might give you gifts. If I had like a lawn or a place where like I could regularly see crows, that's definitely something I would try to work towards. As a kid, like I was what, 7, 8, when we moved to a specific place, there was a big tree in the yard that made these little red berries. I don't remember what it's called. And it was always packed full of crows, and I loved it so much. They would eat the berries and spit out the seeds, so the floor was littered with seeds. They were really cool. I know they remember faces, so I always talk to them. Aren't they cool? The only red dessert is in the Australian outback. It is so nice. It is so pretty. My husband had a raven friend when he was a kid. They know a good person. Oh man, they're so cool. Thank you so much, Amy. Anyone ever eat puffin? Just the cereals. It's a bit of a shame to have this beautiful Aquarius brown in there and not have put it in anything yet. giving up the vibes of the Musketeers to me. I didn't when I had the chance. Is that weird negotiating? I will. I could do a full-on musketeer cat at some point. Okay, there's a few minutes left. How about I take out the sparkly paint? How do you guys feel about sparkly paint? And I can always come back to finish the rest of it, like the rest of the painting after, but I feel like sparkly paint, it's sparkly paint time. Do you agree with me? Oh, my bum. Sorry. I need water too. Hold on. Okay, I grabbed my sparkly paints, swatches. So let's see if there's anything that works. I have an idea, but we'll see. So I don't have a lot of colors on the sheet, and I don't think any of these is a particularly good fit. Not that one. Oh, here we're starting to see some things that could work. These are from Coliro. I don't know if you guys can see. Someone get this one. No, I have my stool. I like my stool, but I might need to... I just need to remember to get up more often to stretch the butt muscles or to get a cushion of some sort. A beanbag chair would get nasty so quickly. We would get full of cat hair and more cat hair and cats. Bucks of paint! Hey! Hello! I hope you're having a good day too. Okay, so here we have Siren that has potential because it's like this purple color, but also like aqua color. And then Pixie is kind of the opposite. It's like an aqua base, but then the reflection is sort of purpley. So these have potential. And then on this one, I think I have a few that could work. I was thinking perhaps this tropical blue. It's like this phthalo blue kind of base color with the aqua shimmer. And then I also have Twilight that could work, which is a bit more blue, like less greenish, and it has like this sort of red glitter in it. Trying to see if there's one that I could do some just very little accents on the outfit. I don't want the outfit to be overpoweringly shiny, but I feel like it would kind of sell the idea of damask fabric well. Twilight is awesome. Twilight is nice, isn't it? I love these. Like, Coliro came out with a bunch of colors that have sparkles in them. And they're really interesting, and I really like them. The one thing that I don't like about sparkly paints is when its base layer is like black, like a transparent black. And then there's a shimmer in there. I feel like it always looks like butt on white paper. It's super striky and you don't see the effect well. Like this cosmic purple is just a tiny bit like that. Not all that much because it's not a, seems to be more of a, like a muted shimmer with a reddish base color. So that's a bit better, but when they get like dark and then the shimmer, I just find them so flat and boring. What are you trying to say, Bio? Bob Twilight what? Doing really well. Got to buy some new plants, but ooh! And it's sunny but not boiling out. Getting, oh, that's great. I hope you put on some sunscreen. It's awesome color, tropical blue and siren. Would siren work? Oh, siren could be fun for the damask kind of deal, since I don't really have a color that would work better. Like the tropical blue, the green would balance out, and then oh, okay, let's try that. Sold. Funky penguins. We got a Howie for the living room, and I got an Indian laurel in it. Oh, sounds lovely. How green is your thumb generally? SPF 50 or bust? Yeah! High five! Though, to be full disclaimer, I kind of never put on sunscreen because it feels gross, but also I rarely go out in the sun. If I have to go out in the sun, I'm gonna put some on, but if not, I try to stick to the shade and avoid it because it feels so disgusting. It's these, not these. But these. I have this sparkly paint brush. I have the extra water dish. This one. If it's not a citrus plant, I do pretty good. But what if I don't go out? It's a struggle because the sensory overload of having sunscreen on, it's difficult. It's really difficult. It's one of those things that I really struggle with. And yeah, whenever I go out and I don't have it, like it doesn't take a lot of sun exposure to get lightly burnt. But yeah, I try not to go out in the sun. I have a sunbrella too that I can use. But it's a really struggle, the freaking sunscreen thing, because I have to find one that I'm not going to have an allergic reaction to, that has high enough SPF, and that doesn't make me want to like rip my skin off because it feels so icky. We went to a beach party last weekend and I brought, yeah, high five. Hey, Lyra. Is it the smell? It's the texture. It's the way it feels on the skin. Like this kind of feeling of being coated in grease, and then if it's hot and you sweat, it gets like even worse. I struggle with like a plain moisturizer if it's hot, because if I am just the tiniest bit hot, I feel like I'm melting. I struggle with the texture of sunscreen. It's that, yeah, the stickiness. Oh, I'm getting the bad vibes just thinking about it. I hate it so much. Like I miss the part with spray glue. a setting like, let's say we go to a beach, it's not gonna bother me as much because it's a bit like I can put it in context. Like, you know, when you are outside and you're caught in the rain, but you know you're just going home. So it's like, oh, well, it's fine. If I'm like drenched, I'm just gonna, you know, change when I get home. Like, no worries. I'm just gonna, you know, be wet and that's it. Like, if you have to go to work though and it starts raining, then it's annoying because you're like, oh, I can't be drenched. I have to go to work. So it's kind of like that. If I'm at the beach and the whole point of the day is to spend the day at the beach, I'm gonna be able to deal with the gross feeling of the sunscreen better. But if I'm like just doing my things and I have to head out for an errand of something and I have to put on sunscreen, it quote unquote ruin the rest of the day. Like, I have to take a shower, I have to wash it off. I can't just sit there and do my thing and always have this texture issue going. If that makes any sense. UPF clothing, I mean, that's technically any clothing, really, unless you're wearing like fishnets. Filmy stickiness is such a beautiful way to put it. I was the kid with iron oxide everywhere the sun might. Yeah, Box of Pain, did you have the thing where your parents would make you like swim with a t-shirt on? I had you gotta swim with your hat and your t-shirt on quite often. I still had the most, like, I got terrible sunburns as a kid. It's just difficult at some point because even if the parents like put a new layer of sunscreen on, it just, there's sand, there's the previous layer, there's this seawater, there's all that stuff. I always use a stick sunscreen on my face before leaving the house, no matter. I go for the hat instead for now. I try to have a hat that covers up my face. It's gross, but I can sort of cope better with having a sweaty head than having a sunscreen on my face. I feel the same with hairspray and hair gel. Granted, this was when hairspray affected the ozone. Oh my gosh. For Bucks, Boots slogan, protect and moisture sun care spray is great. Got some sunscreen. It was in powder form. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, Boots Sultan. Brush balls also solar. Yep. Absolutely. I have really like, my hair is really fine. So like the sun will just burn my head. The end. It's fine and it's light. Like it's a light hue and it's getting white. But it's difficult because, oh my gosh, it is so hot sometimes that you're like, well, I'm gonna, you know, catch a heat stroke if I go out with a hat on. It's just gonna be way too hot. Summer is stupid, guys, basically. I hate it. I hate it so much. I'll have to check the ingredients, Otto. I'm curious about that. The sunbrella is pretty great. I guess the only issue I run into when I use this umbrella is that you have to hold it like an umbrella. And if it's really hot outside, I start sweating from the elbow pit, and it drops down my arm and drops on the floor. I don't know why my elbow pit is sweaty. I'm sorry if it's gross, but yeah, it's weird. But I mean, it's not a big issue per se. It's just odd because you have this feeling of droplets falling off your elbow. Oops. Well, I just contaminated both my water containers. Oh well. Okay. Asian sunscreen is pretty good. It's a bit difficult to find though. Aqua. Yeah, it's the methicone that's a bit problematic. I would still try it, you know. I don't. Oh wait, hold on. This wasn't. Oh, the perfume too. I would have to borrow it from you to try. Weirdly, all that somehow doesn't upset my very sensitives. I mean, if it's good for you, it might work for me. I hate summer too, and I was born in the middle of summer. Though luckily I don't have any problems with a tan. At least. I'm what they categorize as a Fitzpatrick type 1 kind of coloring, which is basically you never tan. You don't tan. You might get freckles if you like are a kid and are outside all summer, but never have I ever gotten a tan. My nose get, yeah, that's it. Like I get a very light sunburn just from like on my arms. They're not even like exposed directly like to the sun, and I get like just from being outside. I got one. Hold on, let me. Sorry about that. This is the ones I have right now. Not the art related apologies, but just so I have Australian Gold Sport 50. That one's a spray. Extremely flammable. Oh, okay. Can I take a moment and just say how much I hate that now every label you have to, like, I see this so much now, where you have to sort of separate the label to access like the ingredients or whatnot. I'm like, how about you make the ingredients the thing that I can see right away, and then the ingredients that you hide in this really annoying thing are not that. Ha! You know what? That's funny. Although this one has menthol in it, so it would be like it's the opposite. It's one that you can't use because why would they put menthol in it? So the ingredients that I'm always like mindful of is stuff like perfume, fragrance, and silicones. This one doesn't have any silicone, but it has perfume in it. So, but as you can see, it's not even opened yet. And then I also got this one. This one is good until this fall. And this one is newer. It's also 50. It's again this stupid freaking annoying label. Like, ah! Just show me the good. I don't care. Ah! Yeah, this one doesn't have any silicones in it. And no perfume either, I think. It's a sensitive skin. Yeah, there's no perfume listed, but again, I haven't tried it yet. Is it ever open? The protective cap stayed in the... Anyway, sorry for these sunscreen parentheses. But yeah. I was an 80s kid and my sisters would be using oil on their skins and I was hissing from the shed. Lemons in your hair, olive oil on your skin, ready to be a salad. Did they have the mirror thing? I fell asleep near a pool. Oh, good grief, that did cause a sunburn. Oh man, that I would be fried. Sunburns do and I get very upset about it. Maybe, yeah, maybe, but it's just that Otto is allergic to it. So it's like a stupid trade-off. Like, we couldn't share sunscreen, basically. Yeah, I have an aunt that was really into tanning. And yeah, most of my family is quite, you know, light in coloring. If not visibly in the hair color, at least like the skin type. And yeah, that aunt sadly passed due to skin cancer. So yeah, that certainly didn't pan out well. But it was the era of, like, you know, like you say, putting oil on and going outside with the mirror thing. And after those flowers I was slightly fried, the resulting tan. Wow, that's a good I mean, you should probably still wear sunscreen to protect your skin because like, your skin is still getting exposed, so there's still a risk of having like skin issues. But so what do you guys think? I will do the white outline, I think, around the cat, because that really helped with the other one to make the whole thing stand out. But I think it is looking, you know, decent. If only, like, the lobbies were for things that are actually helpful to us. Like, you know, instead of having, like, the dairy industry lobby, we had the skincare lobby. Oh, when I see construction workers, like, not putting on any sunscreen. Oh my gosh. No. Baz Luhrmann? Where? You're offending. It is fun. I like that the siren color, like, on the outfit, like, at certain angles you don't see anything, and then when it moves, you see stuff. And that's what I like of the eternal problem of these paints, is that they're so fun, but it's always a bit of a difficult task to find a good way to use them. Is there a bad way to use them though? I'm not sure. But it feels like, I don't know, sometimes I'm like, it's like I make my own life harder for myself by trying to justify using the sparkly paint. And I'm like, you could just use the sparkly paint and just be like, yeah, it's sparkly, it's fun. Baz Luhrmann, everybody's free to rest. Oh, interesting. So he did, that's the guy that did Romeo and Juliet, Moulin Rouge, and now a sunscreen song. Oh, I have something really silly to tell you guys. I'm currently fighting the urge to panic buy so much paint. What paint? What paint? Okay, so my silly thing. So I don't know what or how or why or where, but it got in my brain recently that I wanted a skateboard. Not badly enough, like I'm old. The risk of hurting myself is high. I've never really used one before. But there's something about them that I find interesting in the sense that they are really convenient for errands, because the issue here is that if I take out my bike to go do errands, it's a bit of a hassle in the sense that when you get to your destination, let's say I'm going to the grocery store, I have to find a bike rack, I have to lock my bike, I have to be mindful that there's nothing stealable on my bike. Like it's a big thing, and it's kind of too much. Like it's enough that it reaches that too much threshold. And I was like, what kind of I don't know how to call it, but what kind of device that I could use to go places, but that would be much easier to deal with once I'm there. And I thought of a skateboard, and I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I've never really tried it, so potential is there. Not to do stunts at all. Like, no. Just to, like roll around and get to places a bit faster. So I'm like, okay. But they're not excessively expensive, but they're expensive enough that I can't really justify the purchase. But this week, as I was going to the post office, someone had put their old skateboard out on garbage day to either be picked up by garbage or for someone to, take away. And when I first passed by it, I was like, oh, okay, that's curious, but I didn't do anything. And then I kept going, and I was at the post office, and it just like kept crawling in my head, and I was like, oh, okay, so on my way back, if it's still there, I'm bringing it home. So I did my errands like somewhat quickly. And I walk back home and it's still there. So I grab it. Know nothing of skateboards except that it's a board and there's wheels on it somehow. So I grab it. I mean, it's free. So I come home with the skateboard. I can tell that there's some things to fix on it because the way the wheels, the trucks, apparently, they move, like there were bits falling out. And I was like, that's probably not normal. But I don't know anything about skateboards. So I just make a mental note of that. I'm like, okay, we're going to check that out. Like, I'm going to Google that when I come home. I come home, Google it, and I see, okay, there's this type of pieces you need to sort of, like, to get in the truck for, not suspension, but anyway, like stuff. I'm still learning, okay? And the board itself is really nothing to write home about, but it looks to be in decent shape, and the wheels look nice, the trucks look, somewhat decent. There's only like the sort of rubber parts that you need to dampen everything that are, dried to oblivion, and that's the part that's cracking and falling apart. That's the part that I would have to replace. The pieces cost about $10, so it's not an expensive piece to replace. And like I'm looking into things, and I'm like, worst case scenario, I feel like having a plank that's on wheel is something that I will find a use for when I have to move heavy things around the house. And if nothing pans out, I'll just, put it outside again and have someone else pick it up, But yeah, I have a skateboard now. So are we getting Ev kickflips? Oh, absolutely not. Would love to see the kickflips. I'm not even sure if I can, like, just kick it and stay on it. I'm not a very graceful person. I'm not particularly balanced. I bump into things all the time. So it would really just be for the sake of running errands and going a slightly bit faster than just walking, perhaps. But yeah. Have you had no, nothing, because I don't think it's functional that much right now because of the parts that are falling apart. Like I don't know how much you guys are familiar with the hardware under the skateboard, but it seems to be in multiple parts, and you have one part that is like screwed on the board, and then on that attaches the part that has the wheels, and sort of in between the part on the board and the part with the wheels, you kind of have these rubber pieces that, depending on their softness, will influence just how much the wheels will turn and all of that. Like they will move, not roll, but move on the skate. And these parts are like inexistent right now. This board must have been in a garage for like 20 years. They're dry. Like they're all cracked. And when I wiggle the trucks with the wheels, they fall. So it's a bit like if you were trying to bike with no brakes, in the sense that there's a really crucial part that seems to be missing. So I'm going to see about like switching those out. Should be simple enough. And for any other kind of things that I might need, like if it needs to be oiled up, we have bike chain oil that I will use. I will find something. But as soon as I replace those bits, I'll try to be brave and to find some place nearby when I can just try to get on it. Which is a bit daunting because I'm a bit of a shy person. I don't mind like trying stuff. I just don't want to be seen trying stuff, And I don't really have a sort of hidden place in mind to possibly break my face falling from a skateboard. I remember getting a free skateboard just from... oh, that's cool. You can do it. I hope I can. I hope so. I have a few worries. Like, am I too heavy for this board? Is there a weight limit for skateboards? And what is it? Like, should be okay, but still, like, it's... So yeah, that was my sort of... Like, I had the serious stories of the week, which was the cat thing, and then I had the silly story of the week, which was the free skateboard. No weight limits? Awesome. I mean, I'm not like absurdly heavy, but dyspraxic. Wait, what's that one? If the skateboard doesn't work out, there's roller skate. A lot of places won't let you go in with skates on, though, so either you need a kind of roller skates that you can plop on and off your shoes, or you can't really use them for errands. Hi, Gwendolyn, by the way. Hello. I stepped away to get a rose. Ooh! And after gardening for 2 minutes. Welcome back. Just wear knee pads and headgear. I have headgear because I have a bike helmet. I don't have any kind of knee pads. I have those for, like gardening. I'm gonna go really slow at first. So hopefully I'm gonna bring Band-Aid or something. It's gonna be an experience. Dyspraxia is like dyslexia, but for physical movement. Essentially, it's being really... I'm awful at sports. Swimming might have had a bit of that because I was I was really struggling with any kind of swimming move that you have to do like symmetrical on each side of your body. That was difficult. There are a couple of other sports that I was a tiny bit better at, like badminton was fine-ish after a while. Try a scooter kick bike. I mean, if I find one for free, I will. But for now, I found a skateboard for free, so let's try a skateboard. And yeah, what I like of the skateboard is that it's really easy to grab, keep in like under your arm while you do your errands. And if I'm doing errands, I'm probably gonna bring a bag, and I could just bring a backpack that has the straps to attach the skateboard to, which is a bit easier to manage here than a bike. Definitely slow, balance is key, but once you... Yeah, that's it. I feel like the challenge is going to be to be able to balance properly on it, and then to turn. But that's about the extent of the skills that I know I want to learn. Like I'm not looking to do any kind of fancy moves, or even the basic non-fancy moves like. And I feel like a lot of the I don't know that's what you call a scooter, but I feel like a lot of scooters are basically just a skateboard with a broom attached to it, like a handle. Use your knees and hips when turning. Yeah, it's you shift your weight, right? But yeah, I have yet to get on it. I feel like perhaps my only redeeming quality, like I'm not a very sportsy person, I'm not a very agile person or coordinated person, but my center of gravity is quite low, so I might be fine. So balance can be greatly improved by strengthening your ankles and your core. I'm gonna do the plank and abs workouts. I like the simplicity of the skateboard, to be honest. Also looking forward to the developments at the end of the summer. They're supposed to extend the bike lanes to be really close to me. You can do body combat and body pump with me? You have to send me links. My knees are a bit crummy, but that's also on account of being too heavy for my height, which always puts a lot of pressure on these. So that's something that... one of the many issues that I have to address at some point, but I prefer a good scooter. Scooter you have to park, though. That's my issue. Like I'm trying to find a way to... It's all mental and practical. The mental bit is being able to do more stuff outside by telling myself that I can use something that will get me there faster. So that's the motivator. And the practical thing is that it's difficult to manage anything that you have to lock, that you can't bring with you. So any kind of like bike, I mean, they're doing their best. They're trying to put more and more like things to lock your bike to, but it's the people that I have an issue with. Because people here, they will absolutely, like, I'm pretty sure you can go outside, you can take your bike out a few places and be fine, but eventually at some point someone is going to steal your seat or your wheel or your whole bike. And if you have bags on your bike for the sake of convenience, sorry, those might be stolen too. Like, you know, like the Velcro bags that you attach to the frame or under the seat, the stuff that's meant to stay with the bike. Not this, you're not supposed to like take apart your bike every time you go someplace. Wheelie shoes from the early Y2K. Oh my gosh. I remember those. I mean, you can have foldable bikes, but it's just, you know, it's still a lot of work to fold it up and carry it with you if you don't want to leave it outside. But yeah, so anyway, it was free. It was, you know, it was gonna go in the trash. Wheelie shoes were so cool. They were really cool. The one thing that helped me with wheelie shoes not feel that bad is that they were kind of crap. They didn't work all that well, but they were really cool. Alright, so I think I'm mostly done. The one thing I will have to do with this one is do the bit of highlights, and I think I'm gonna do like a layer of shadow on the floor and on the character, but since I've contaminated both my water containers with sparkles, I'm not gonna do that right now. I will do that later, when I have washed and cleaned up and switched the water. But yeah, like the other one that I've shown earlier, music. So a bit like this one, like with the white highlights and the outline, I think it looks really cool. So that's going to be the same kind of vibe for this other one. Oops. Wait, this bit of frame. You can do it if the first time is always the scariest, but once you get going, it's going to be so fun. Thank you so much, Inmi. I really appreciate it. Illustration is very pretty. Thank you so much. Thank you. And then I will also probably paint this one in a similar vein. So I will have 3 of these for now, and then I'll see. But yeah, so that's gonna be it for now. I really have to go use the bathroom. I drank a lot of tea. And yeah, thank you so much guys for being here for this special early stream. I don't know if I should apologize for streaming earlier. I don't know how much of an inconvenience or a convenience it was, but depending on how it pans out, I could try to have these every once in a while, even if I'm not dealing with a scheduling conflict. Because it might be easier for the people in, you know, the rest of the world to be there. So anyway, have a great weekend guys. See ya all tomorrow for tomorrow's video, and then Thursday there's the members only stream, and then next Caturday live stream. So next Caturday live stream so far should be the same time as usual, like what is 2 p.m. for me. But yep, we'll see. In the meantime, have a good week guys, have a good weekend, and thank you so much for being here again, and take care, and see ya, and bye bye.